The training deck of the Galactic Unity resonated with the quiet efficiency of numerous species collaborating. Commander Scar, a formidable Voran with crystalline skin that mirrored the ship's harsh illumination, observed the diverse assembly of cadets with his calculating orange eyes. His reputation as a veteran of 3 border conflicts preceded him, renowned for his unorthodox training techniques. Among the cadets was Marcus Chun, the solitary human amidst a multitude of alien forms. Although he was of average height by human standards, he appeared almost diminutive next to the massive Krillian cadets and the graceful elongated Selenians. However, Marcus had learned long ago that appearances could be misleading, particularly regarding humans in the cosmos. "Today," Zethar announced, his voice carrying the metallic resonance typical of his species, "we discussed the chain of command, obedience, and discipline." His gaze traversed the gathered cadets before focusing on a young Aldrin named Kip, whose blue-green skin had noticeably paled. "Some of you still fail to grasp the seriousness of military hierarchy." Kipto's forearms quivered slightly. The Alderings were recognized for their artistic abilities and diplomatic disposition. They were not known as warriors. Marcus had observed a young cadet struggling with the more aggressive elements of their training, often freezing during combat simulations. "Cadet, stand tall!" Zekker's voice sliced through the silence like a plasma blade. "Step forward," the Aldrin complied, albeit with hesitation in his movements. Marcus felt a familiar tension rising in his chest, reminiscent of his childhood experiences watching bullies intimidate smaller children on Earth playgrounds. "Tell me, Cadet," Zephyr continued, circling the quaking alien, "what is the first rule of military engagement?" "To follow orders without question, sir," Kipto stammered. "Indeed. However, during the boarding simulation yesterday, you displayed hesitation. You questioned Sergeant Vextar's command to advance towards the simulated enemy position. Zakar halted directly in front of the cadet. Such indecision can lead to fatalities among soldiers. Sir, I was simply evaluating the tactical circumstances. The strike occurred unexpectedly." Zakar's crystalline fist struck Kipto's slender chest, causing the Aldrin to tumble across the deck. The other cadets recoiled slightly, stepping back instinctively. Kipto gasped, his forearms gripping his torso as he fought for breath. "That," Zakar proclaimed, "is the consequence of hesitation. Questions belong in the classroom. On the battlefield, one must take action." Marcus experienced a surge of something ancient and primal coursing through his veins, a trait his species had inherited from the African savanna to the far reaches of space. His hands formed into fists, and his vision seemed to constrict, concentrating solely on the Vorthan, commander looming over the injured cadet. "With all due respect, sir," Marcus stated, his voice unwavering despite the fire igniting within him, "I believe you have made your point." Zar turned, his orange eyes shimmering with what could have been amusement. "Have I, human? And what point would that be? That you are prepared to assault a cadet to assert your authority?" Marcus advanced, placing himself between the commander and Kipto, who was still struggling to rise, though I am uncertain what lesson this imparts about leadership. A wave of astonished murmurs swept through the gathered cadets. No one addressed Commander Zekar in such a manner, certainly not a first-year cadet from a species that has only been in space for a mere 2 centuries. "Be cautious, human," Zekar's voice lowered to a perilous whisper. "Your species may have impressed the Council with your eagerness for conflict, but you remain merely a cadet. Understand your position." "I am aware of my position," Marcus responded. His voice carried that distinct tone that humans adopt when they make an irrevocable decision. It lies between the aggressors and their targets. The term bully does not have a perfect equivalent in galactic standard, yet the implication was sufficiently clear. Tsar's crystalline features darkened, his skin transitioning from transparent to a foreboding shade of purple. "You dare." "I dare many things, Commander." Marcus shrugged his shoulders, a movement that appeared nonchalant, yet was anything but. "Consider where I originate. We have a proverb, choose someone your own size." Zakar chuckled, a sound reminiscent of grinding glass. "Your own size. Human. I possess double your mass, and my bones are composed of living crystal. You are merely soft flesh." Marcus advanced, not with the graceful precision of a Selenian martial artist or the ruthless efficiency of a Krillian warrior, but with a distinctly human approach. The desperate, cunning aggression of a species that has fought its way to the apex of its food chain. Although not the strongest or the swiftest predator on its planet, the human's initial strike aimed at Zir's left knee joint, where the crystalline structure was most vulnerable. His second strike, delivered in the same fluid motion, caught the taken-aback commander in what humans refer to as the solar plexus. The Voran doubled over, gasping, and Marcus's final strike, a flawlessly executed uppercut, connected with Zakar's protruding chin. The sound of crystal and bone colliding with human knuckle resonated through the training deck like a bell. Commander Zakar's eyes rolled back, and he fell backward, unconscious, before reaching the deck. The training bay became silent, save for the gentle hum of the ship's life support systems. Marcus stood over the fallen commander, his knuckles bloodied from the impact with crystalline bone, yet his demeanor remained composed. "The aspect concerning humans," he remarked to the astonished cadets, reaching out a hand to assist Kipto in standing, "is that we do not truly concern ourselves with differences in size. What matters to us is the distinction between right and wrong." He surveyed the diverse assembly of alien faces, some filled with horror, others with admiration, all taken aback, and assaulting cadets to make a statement. That is unacceptable in any language. Later, as Marcus found himself in the brig awaiting his unavoidable court-martial, he contemplated the occurrences. He may have jeopardized his military career before it even commenced, yet Kipto was unharmed, and the other cadets had gained a crucial insight into humanity that no textbook could impart. At times, the human approach was not about being the most powerful or the most intelligent. At times, it was merely about refusing to allow strength to be wielded against the vulnerable, even if it necessitated incapacitating your commanding officer to illustrate the point.